need to do some put things together, and then I'll actually start the stream and stuff. Uh, flipping it. Wait a second. Oh, hi Ali. I'm just here. Oh, actually, I've been wanting to do some something other than university work, so that's why I'm doing this. I don't know how successful it's gonna be though, cause it's already 9 p.m. and I got lessons tomorrow and stuff. But I'm like, since we're trying to make 2018 the new 2014, like I need to start making content again, so I just spend the whole of the next year also not making content. Like making content is hard, like it takes a long time and I don't really have a lot of stamina, so I always end up like not making enough content as I want to. It's like I don't know. I wanna put on some music, but I have weird music tastes, so I'll just put something like what should I put on? Oh, what do you have to print? Is it like something for schoolwork or whatever? Because I still have a little bit of work to do, and then I'm free for the holidays. But I don't know how quickly I'm gonna get it done. So, but I've been doing that for like the past couple of days now, and it's really boring. I feel like working on anime on your own takes so much time. Like, I know it's like the older you get, the less time you have stuff to actually like. You have to think about stuff other than just working on your anime. Like, even though my art was bad when I was like 15, at least I didn't have to worry that much about anything besides going back to school and stuff. Like, I could spend like the whole holidays, like I spent the whole Christmas of 2015 just working on the Christmas special. Like I would just wake up and do animation and go to bed, and I'll just wake up and do animation and go to bed. I can't do that anymore. It's like, how much hours do I have in a day? And how much time do I actually have to spend and work on Space Ranger Winnow? And then I did the calculations and I have like barely anything. I mean, even though I study animation, like a lot of it is like, okay, you gotta follow the guidelines and do what you have to do. And you only start really making your own projects in the final year. And since I'm still in my second year, I still kind of have to follow guidelines. Yeah, I know. Like university connection is really bad, which is why I didn't want to stream in the first place. Um, but I can't really do anything about it because it's like I live in the countryside now, so I don't have the access to the best like internet connection. So I'm really sorry about that. Um, I can like if I was streaming from like home, it would be so much better. I could have like better connections and everything, but I really can't do anything about that. Sorry. I'm trying to get how to look in. I just feel like the head's too big. I tend to draw my heads big, but there's a limit. Yeah, I wish I could. It's just that like there's one internet and then I have to use that for my laptop and my phone as well. So I can't really do anything. Like it's just like one uni internet. Like they have different ones for like school and stuff, but not in the dorms and stuff. There's just one. And yeah, and everyone connects to it as well, so multiple people using one internet connection. I'm just like, because I really wanted to make content, but the only way to like get content is to either stream or do like a speed paint. But I feel like mm, I wanted to like talk as well while I was working, so I didn't really want to do another speed paint. I feel like doing a speed paint is fine sometimes. I usually try and space them out, so I don't like doing them like all the time. Uh, he keeps like phasing in and out. It's really annoying. Because I'm like, I can only really exert time to work on to make the animation good at like certain points. So I'm trying to. This is supposed to be one of them, so I'm trying to get into the habit of making timing charts. But obviously, I want to get. How do you draw? Hand on the cheek again. Why do I always like? I can never get it right. If there's two things that I can't draw to save my life, it's like hands on the cheek and feet. I can't draw either of those, even though I try really hard to. I feel like it's been a while since I've like animated something like in full, and the style of Space Ranger Rinel has like greatly changed since the last time I did something. like, what should I do to like make it okay? I literally, my hands are tied. I can't really do anything to change it. Mm. Yeah, me too. I'm trying to make the music not too loud, but I don't know whether or not it's okay. Obviously, like this is like the rough draft, so I'm trying to get like the basic movement out, which is why I haven't drawn Harriet's hair yet. So he's bald for the time being. Uh, I'm just trying to. I think that should be fine, audio wise. I can't really tell from my side, obviously. Um, so I hadn't really properly announced what I was trying to do for um on how like Space Ranger Winner will be from now on. Also, anyone that's just come in, like the bathroom problems. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I want to do some more streaming when I get like a more stable connection. Um, so yeah, if you can deal with it, that would be like thankful. Like, but if you can't, like, I understand. Um, so instead of like full episode, they'll be kind of like shorter mini-sodes. And the reason why I'm making that decision was basically when I decided this like a year ago was just like I decided it like over a year ago so I could get more animation. I still haven't gotten it out. I'm sorry. It's just that every single time I tried to work on it, my art would improve, and so I'd look on the back on the old things and I wouldn't like it. Obviously, I keep trying to fix it, and then I get to this point where I don't have anything to show for it because I'm one of those like perfectionists or whatever. And that plus it like my time schedule is the reason why I haven't really updated another thing. And because like every single time I'll try to work on Space Ranger Rinel, I'd like a new idea would pop into my head like, oh maybe I should do this or maybe I should introduce this character. So like there's a lot from like its initial release, there's like a lot that's been kind of like added behind the scenes. But obviously, if I don't put anything out, no one's really gonna know that. So I'm sorry. I just feel like I'm such a bad like fanimator because I'm not very good at backgrounds or sound design and stuff. So I was just like, why am I even trying to make a fanime in the first place? But then it's because I kind of enjoy it, I guess. Trying to get like the face equal is really difficult. I don't know how some artists do it. Like, I want to know so bad. I never seem to be capable of doing it. I guess I just don't have the eye to do it. So, like, obviously, what I'm trying to get done is their first meeting or whatever, because I'm basically trying to retell. I'm trying to get like five. Mm, yeah, there is. We do have um figure drawing, like life drawing, but even so, because we're drawing from like a certain distance, it's kind of difficult to um draw features. So then we're mostly just focusing on perspective and proportion, not so much the close up on the face. So I just like, because I'm not that good at it, I just use the flip tool, whatever, on Paint Tool side, and that's kind of how I get by. Um, like I know like the eyes have to be like asymmetrical to a certain extent, like they're not supposed to be like direct copies of each other, which is why I don't do like the copy, paste, and then drag over, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay-ish. I mean, it can be better. The thing with Haruto is that he has kind of like limited expression, so obviously, like, I don't. Compared to the other characters, he's less expressive. So obviously, I have to make sure that he's at least giving some expression when he's making bold faces. Accidentally deleted. Like there's four stages ish to this movement. He's like his flate. I can't speak today. His face is slumped, and then he notices that Rinel's looking at him, and then he gets kind of like self-conscious, which is that's the whole basis of the expression. So I have to kind of show that he's not the, even when he's like showing like happiness or shock, or when he's shocked, is not as expressive as Rinel per se. So I have to make sure that I'm trying to get nuance in his actions. That's pretty shocked enough. Maybe it's too shocked for Howard to know. I don't know. I'm trying to use labels as reference, and it kind of has him with this expression, but I don't know if it's too shocked. In like the video suggestions under the thing, I see like the scrapped episode 3. And it's like, wow, Haruto glowed up. He's not like, because Haruto used to be like a really, really unimportant character, but that was like years ago. Like his role in the story is like, what's that word again? Like a geotagonist? Is that what it's called? Yeah, like a geotagonist. Like he's at that level now, because even though he's not an alien per se, he still has like a lot of, because of his relationship with Rinel, it sort of elevates him to secondary protagonist, even though he doesn't really do anything per se. Like he doesn't fight, he can't because he's a human being, and he'd probably die. But Space Angel Rinel is not like a overly dramatic story, so Haruto doesn't have to worry about his life, because Rinel's got it all covered anyways. But I feel like the head is still too big for the body. I feel like his expression is too. Yeah, something like that is a bit more less in your face. And then maybe I should, instead of having him open his mouth, just kind of like build him. Then he should blink. He should blink at this point and change expression again. Like to slightly embarrassed, and then his eyes kind of lower again to his usual demeanor. Anyway, this is my shoddy animation process, I guess. I just can't tell if the eyes are symmetrical. I just feel like I have a really bad eye, because like everyone else doesn't seem to have this problem, but I do. always feel like I spend a lot of time making sure whether or not it's symmetrical or not when I could be actually spending it doing animation. But oh well, like it pays off because I've seen really bad asymmetrical faces in animation, so it's really obvious when they haven't checked to see if the face matches up when it's flipped around. Wondering if I should make a scene somewhere. There's a reason why I don't like if towards the end I don't tend to draw everything over and over again. I tend to kind of like leave bits out, and that's just because like it's the draft and I don't really care, and going through the hassle of getting a rough animation to look really good is like it's not worth it for me, because I will put the same amount of effort into doing that and then the actual animation. But I need to put in the hair at least, because I need to also figure out the hair movement. I should be animating Rinel instead of Haruto, but since I haven't animated Haruto in a while, I wanted to do him instead. It's just the expression on the according to the storyboard. He's supposed to be more embarrassed. I'm not sure if that's I should go through with that though, because Haruto's not the type to get embarrassed. Oh, hi Jissy, how's it going? Always like deliberate on these things that aren't as important because I'm just trying to make sure the first and last frame add up, and I like using this technique. Well, it's not really a technique, it's common sense, but I like doing this because I want to make sure like everything adds up well. I haven't watched anime in a while, really. The only anime that I was watching for a bit was Osamatsu-san season 2, but I haven't watched it in full for the past couple of weeks because of work, and also because it's getting really cringy and I don't really like it anymore. But and then what else? But it was always cringy to begin with. And there's also the Mahojin Guru Guru remake. I didn't know, I haven't watched the original, but apparently the original and the remake are just as good. So that's always nice. By that's by Production IG, and they're doing. I'm gonna try this again. And they're doing the remake, and there's always like the production quality like wavers, but it does have some really good scenes in there. And there's also like Hoseki no Kuni. Oh, that's good, Jissy. Um, there's also Hoseki no Kuni, but I haven't watched it. I don't know if I'll watch it. Like, it seems to be the most popular anime this season, but that's because like the anime adaptation was like longer rated, and the manga is also very popular, so it would make sense that the anime is also popular as well. Kind of like Boku no Hero Academia is like the manga's popular, so obviously when it gets made into an anime, the anime is also going to be popular. But then I was thinking like, what would it be like if animes were like super popular and had like big fandoms? Like that'd be kind of strange. Like lots of fan art and cosplayers. Oh, a silent voice. Yeah, my younger brother likes that one. No, he actually hates it. He was like, I hate it. The manga's so much better. I'm like, okay. But it's made by Kyoto Animation, and Kyoto Animation can never go wrong. Because I just saw the preview for Violet Evergarden, and it looks so good. Like, oh my gosh. It reminds me of like, British historical dramas and stuff. Like Jane Eyre and Pride and Prejudice and all of that. Like, even the title, Violet Evergarden, sounds like some title from one of those books made in the 1800s and stuff in Britain. So like I'm looking forward to it. It's probably set in England to be honest. Um, which is always nice because I live in the UK and you don't really get a lot of anime that are set in England. But it might not be. I mean, it has to be like where else is it set? It's probably if it's not set in the UK, it's probably set in like see like I always get it wrong. Fictional European country because putting it in a real European country is difficult. I can't get the eyes right. I don't know what to do. I swear, like, this is gonna plague me for the rest of my days. Like, how to make the eyes look good. How do, like, the pros animators do it? Like, they don't even blink and then they get the face looking all symmetrical and nice. It's always. Like, I wanna give up, but. Yeah, that's what I thought. Um, I thought it was, but what Kyoani tends to do is that they get like people in house to write light novels, and then they make adaptations of said light novels. Like they have their own little award ceremony, and that's where Free came from, and Chunibyo and all the adaptations they do. A lot of them are just like, oh, this person made a light novel, and we like it. Let's make an anime out of it, and that's literally what they do. So they technically are making an adaptation, but it's technically their story. So. And that's how they kind of I don't even know how Kyo Annie stays alive. Um, when I went to Japan, because their animation studio is based in Kyoto, so I did like a bit of a anime pilgrimage, and I went to see the building, and it's just like this yellow building, like it's just there, and it's right next to the train station, and it's just there. Like you can see it from the train station. It's just a yellow building, and it had some anime posters on it, and I was just that. And then they also have their gift shop, and that's also down the road. So I bought some stuff from their gift shop. Everyone there is really nice. They're just like, hello, would you like to see our anime? You can buy like your favorite anime keychains and stuff. They don't have a lot of stuff, but it's like a cute little gift shop that's only open for like 3 hours a day. But yeah, people like Hoseki no Kuni is really really good, and so I'm like, well, if that's the case, I should watch it. But then I realized like, man, watching anime takes time, and I don't really have the time to get invested in a series. So I feel like I don't also understand Hoseki no Kuni. Like a lot of people like, it's really dramatic and the characters and stuff, but I'm like I can't get Steven Universe. I can't stop making a like the comparison. Like when I hear Diamond, I'm like, oh, it's Yellow Diamond from Steven Universe, but it's not. It's Hoseki no Kuni. It's a totally different anime, totally different idea and stuff. This one's about gems, and they get taken to the moon by moon people, and they have to fight off the moon people and stuff. And Steven Universe is about, I don't know, we're the crystal gems, and we're gonna save the other gems from a abusive regime based on hierarchy, which Hoseki no Kuni does not have. But they have like the whole hardness thing, which I guess is like how valuable slash useless you are in combat. But I don't think they hate each other or that much. That's all I really know about Hoseki no Kuni. There's a lot of fan art. I've seen a lot of fan art, so I'm just like, you just deduce things from the fan art and the videos. Oh, I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up. I can't do this. Just like, okay, it's just a draft, so I don't need to be too fussy about it, but still. I mean, it looks okay-ish. Like, it doesn't look too bad, I think. I'm not a very good self, reviewer, because I tend to just think everything I make is super bad, so I can't really, judge my own content properly. So I'm always like, give me feedback, because I don't know how to feel about my own work. But Space Ranger Rinel is supposed to be, chill. It's not supposed to be that deep. I'm not trying to change the world with any meaning. It's just supposed to be about a bunch of people, a bunch of characters in an alternate Earth where aliens exist and stuff. But the only reason why Space Ranger Rinel exists is because I wanted to make an alien OC. And I had it in the past, so I was like, I'll make an alien OC. This was years ago. I think Rinel and all the other characters are the only alien characters I have, and they wouldn't have existed if I didn't think to make an alien character. Because to be honest, I actually hate space. I don't like space that much, to be honest. Aliens are cool, but I don't like space. So it's kind of ironic that the title is Space Ranger Rinel. When every single time I have a conversation about space, I'm like, yeah, but space is just a big empty void. It's not very interesting. Which is not true, but that's just how I think. I can't seem to like space because it's just so big and empty and scary. So the space in Space Ranger Winner was home to lots of different alien species and it's lively and stuff. So it's just a better, improved Space 2.0 where instead of just having nothing in space and some planets, you actually have aliens and stuff. Which I guess why aliens exist in the first place, because it's not that fun if the only thing in space is just asteroids and stars and planets. At least have something else other than just rock and stuff. Hmm. I don't know why it looks worse flipped this way than this way. Like one looks worse than the other. Like it's the same picture, just flip the other way around. I feel like I'm such a bad animator. I only like animating certain things, which doesn't work in the industry. So I'm trying to train myself to be more versatile. But most animators or most people in the industry try and like hone one particular craft. Like I'm gonna be a storyboarder, I'm gonna be a character designer, and then you just kind of spend, like in my course, that's basically what you spend your last year doing. And I know that I'm by the end of next year, I'm still gonna be like primarily 2D animation. So, womp womp. My my mom and dad were like, since you're going to study animation, you should learn 3D because the industry's gonna be 3D. And I'm like, okay, mom, okay, dad. Like, I come back and I'm still doing 2D animation. But I can't let go of my beautiful 2D animation. I love it so much. Like, I just want, if I show my mom and dad Violet Evergarden, I'm like, this is what 2D can look like. Like, look how amazing it is. Then I'll change their mind. I know, like a lot of characters can just OCs can just exist just because you're like, I'm gonna just create a character that has this, and then a new character is born. Wow. But with Rinel's inception, like it was always the thing that she was supposed to be a space ranger, and then I just thought, you know what? Let me make a fanime out of it as well, because at that point I wasn't in the fanime community anymore. If I think Kiara knows, because she's like, were you that person who made that Marin animation and then left? And like, somebody knows. Because before I made Space Ranger Rinel, I made like another idea. Like, it only had an opening and an audition, I think, and then I quit for some reason. Oh, I just got tired. I was like, and I lost like, I was still in school and I was a lot younger, but I lost like most of episode 1. And obviously, like being a young student and not really caring that much, obviously I got like, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. So I just shut down my whole channel and just watched anime instead for like another year. This was like in 2012, I think. I know that like the reason why 3D is big currently is because it's considered like the new future of animation, which sucks because I feel like there's enough space for more than one style of animation to exist. But in the eyes of the corporate industry, they don't care about 2D animation anymore. Unless like TV animation is the only sort of animation you'll see doing 2D. Like I think the only 2D animated film that came out last year, I think this year, was that My Little Pony one. You know, that one. So yeah, no real prospects for 2D animation. And I feel like people are now saying, come on guys, let's make 3D animation look like 2D animation, which is nice, but it's like, just keep these styles of animation. They did that with the Lego movie and stop motion. Let's make this 3D animation look like stop motion, or you could just make a stop motion film. You know, it's just kind of annoying, really. Like 3D doesn't have its own ideas, so it's just pawning off 2D and stop motion to look more innovative and creative. So, because there's already a certain style of 3D animation that's like in the big bug-eyed sort of tangled Frozen style that Pixar and Disney made super popular, and now every other movie is doing that. So thanks Disney, thanks Pixar. You, you made all 3D animation look like super high definition, big-eyed, bug-eyed characters, like, and that's it. That's the only style. This isn't student films, obviously the exception, because student films are different and they have a different production schedule, and you're doing it to graduate. But I'm talking mostly about 3D movies, not student animated films. They're a bit different. There was the new Spider-Man thing, and that looked like more creative. But then again, it's like a lot of 2D animated films also did that, and they're just using that and then putting it in their film, and then they're getting credit for being more innovative, and it's not fair. Probably. It sounds like I hate 3D, but I really don't. I just find that a lot of the time 3D gets credit for things that it didn't even innovate, but since it's seen as the future, it gets the credit anyways. So. Like, oh, good story writing, like Pixar invented good story writing. Like, no, because The Land Before Time and Don Bluth was doing that in the 90s, way before Pixar decided to make Toy Story. And it's not fair, because no one cares about Don Bluth, but everybody cares about John Lasseter. Well, with the allegations there, I guess that might change. But where I study, there's still a lot of 2D animated films, like student animated films being made, which is why I decided to come here, because a lot of the other courses in my country primarily focus on 3D, which I think is unfair. I feel like students should be able to test out all three styles of animation and not just focus on 3D all the time. But I feel like a lot of people feel like there's no space for 2D anymore. Yeah, like 3D is cool. I like, for example, 3D in games. I feel like has more expression than a lot of 3D animated films. Like, even though I like DreamWorks and some of their movies, their Boss Baby movie was really, really bad. I can't like put it into terms like how bad it was, but there was like a YouTube live stream and I watched it. Like, I watched like 40 minutes of it, and it's like, wow, like, I was just so shocked because I was like, this is the same. This is the same studio that made Megamind and Shrek and the Prince of Egypt and stuff, and this is what they have, Boss Baby. And it's not even an idea because the Boss Baby is a series of children books, and it's basically an adaptation. But it's like it has all the tropes like we'll never make it in time. We need to get here, or else we can't make it. We need to save the babies. It's like, oh no, like whatever shall we do? And these are the sort of movies nowadays that are making money, like movies with really weak storyline and storytelling are the ones that are making more money. I keep ranting about this, but I have no one else to talk to about it. It's like you have the technology, like I don't understand. You have the technology to make like something really amazing. You can make money at the same time. Like I don't understand. Like why would you fall short on the story like part of your animation when no matter what, since you've got your celebrity voices, you're gonna make a lot of money, but you still choose to have mediocre screenwriting. It doesn't make any sense. And they're making a sequel, I think, as well. Like, I'm just. It's also like the same with the Emoji Movie, but I feel like the Emoji Movie is kind of more like a marketing ploy. So at least they have the excuse like, oh, we just want to market emoji cushions to kids. But the Boss Baby, like, there's no Boss Baby merchandise. There's no Boss Baby t-shirts being sold in stores. So you don't have that excuse of trying to market things for little kids. So why is the story aspect still underwhelming and lacking? And you have all this money to pour into your projects when I've seen like student films with better story execution. It doesn't make sense. For like, I feel like student films and indie animation are going to save animation because there's too many big corporate people out there who don't care about the quality of animation and continue to like excuse these bad like screenwriting tropes and stuff, all for the sake of making money. While there's people who have passion who just want like $1,000 to be put into their project and they don't get the money. But these big animation projects with millions of dollars like still can't get basic storytelling right. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not saying that I'm like the best animator because I'm really not, but I'm still learning. But some of these people have been in the industry for decades and they should really know better. Or maybe they don't have a choice. Like, make Boss Baby or quit DreamWorks. Because all of DreamWorks movies that try to be more daring made less money. So, like, a lot of their movies in the 2000s did really badly. Like, not excluding Shrek 2 and Shrek 3 and like all the Shrek sequels. Too many Shrek sequels. Um, I can't even remember which one. There was like the Monsters vs. Aliens movie. I don't think anyone remembers that one. That wasn't very good. There was Megamind, which did okay. And then they did How to Train Your Dragon, and they made all the money back. All the money back. See, How to Train Your Dragon is good, but kids can also watch it. But then you have Boss Baby. I keep comparing the two, but it's just confusing how the same company can make How to Train Your Dragon and How to Train Your Dragon 2 and Boss Baby in the same vein. Like, did the people on the project were so different? Like, what happened? I'm not saying that Boss Baby had to have like an amazing storyline and like, but what happened? Because the storyline was in Boss Baby was just non-existent. It was all baby puns and one-liners and all the things you'd see in like a 90s movie. Like Boss Baby brought it back. And I feel like, I know, like, must be some someone there who brings it all together, and there must be other people who just don't care, because I don't understand how their projects or a lot of their movies can be so drastically different from each other, which is good in one way because at least it's not like Disney where you can like expect certain things from Disney. You can expect a certain style. You can expect like the Disney quality, the Disney magic. So at least like DreamWorks isn't like that. Like, there's nothing wrong with the Disney magic, but it's like every single movie is like, we gotta make it magical. Wow, the kids. I'm just waiting for Frozen 2 to do the exact same thing as Frozen, and people still being like, wow, Frozen 2 is amazing. I also don't like Frozen. There's a couple of reasons why I don't like Frozen, but the animation is not one of them. The animation is good. The character designs are okay. I don't still like the bug-eyed sort of look that every single Disney heroine seems to have nowadays, but I can pass that one up. Um, It's just that the storyline again in Frozen is like, we have to make it in time before the whole world turns into ice. And I hate that. There's no time left, like, sort of trip. I really hate it because it's really annoying. It's like the only stakes you have in your story is just based on time. And it's like, okay, if we don't make it in time, then the whole kingdom will be turned into ice and we need to save the day. Come on, guys, let's get into our sleigh and slide all the way to Elsa's castle. It's like, it's so annoying. And before we get there, we need to have a couple of musical numbers so people know what's going on. I'm the evil villain, I'm going to take over the kingdom while the princess is away. And I'm the magical rock creatures here to sing about love. I don't know, I don't care. I usually like Disney musical numbers, but a lot of the ones in Frozen were so boring, so. Like, maybe Do You Want to Build a Snowman, Let It Go, and Love is an Open Door were probably the best ones. But all the other ones were not as good, which, like, it's understandable. You can't have every song being, like, super amazing. But, some of them are just, like, especially the rock people's number is boring. Yeah, like, I mean, the story isn't that bad, and the animation is good, and usually, like, for me, I can overlook certain story aspects as long as the animation brings something to the table. But, like, with Disney, it's like, oh, a lot of the things I saw in Frozen were a lot of the things I saw in Brave, and a lot of the things I saw in Brave were a lot of the things I saw in Moana, and they keep bringing certain things back, and I don't like it. I want something different. I want, like, if you're not gonna do a Disney princess movie, I just want something else. Like, a lot of the Disney movies had more variety. I can't even think about the movies they've made the past couple of years that are really like, wow, I'm looking forward to that Disney movie. It's like, oh, it's a Disney movie. People will like it eventually. Like, Zootopia was probably one of the better ones they've had. But it's still like, we gotta do this, like, the time, like, we gotta do this before we run out of time. We only have something hours again. But, you know, it's better than, like, Boss Baby. I keep making fun of Boss Baby. I know, like, indie is so good, but, like, indie is, like, indie for a reason. You don't have the money. And if you don't have the money, you can't pay people to do your animation. And if you can't pay people to do your animation, then it can't exist. And, like, Kickstarters exist, and they're, like, there, but no one wants to give money. Like, people are like, indie creators, like, we need indie, but then people don't actually give money. You'll buy a ticket, well, not you, but people will buy a ticket to the next, like, movie, the next animated movie, like Batman, Lego, whatever. But, like, an indie person being like, oh, can you guys, like, spare, like, $5 so I can make this animation, please? It's like, no. Like, what's in it for us? And the animation, the quality animation you guys have been asking for so long. That's taken so long. I feel like the hair's off, but I don't know what to do. Probably redo it, like I always do. But this is a draft, so I'm trying to get the basic movement down. Oh. Like, I really want to see more indie TV animation, because I feel like, not TV animation, more indie web series and stuff coming out. But there's, like, a matter of money. Like, Cartoon Federator's trying to do the whole, like, thing, but I always feel like because they don't get enough money, it can't survive For example, being Puppycat and that whole fiasco where they had the Kickstarter and everything, but they still couldn't get enough money to support the project. So they had to move it over to a streaming website with a monthly fee. So then people who backed the Kickstarter who live outside of the US couldn't watch the last episodes. And it's like, it's not fair, but it's understandable. Like, you need the money, or else the animation can't survive. People do, but like making independent creators or people who try to fund it with money, who try to fund their own projects, it takes a long time. The reason because people who do the big companies want the animation at a certain time. So they're like, okay, you have this deadline, so you need to make the animation by here or else. So you have those deadlines you have to obey or else, because they need the animation by a certain date. But if you're working on your own project, then obviously you're going to take as much time to make the project as quality as possible. So that's why it always takes longer. Hopefully, like in 2018, all the indie projects that are being backed by Kickstarters will come out. And then people can see that it's actually worthwhile putting money into indie projects and stuff. Because you can get good results. And by results, I mean people's hard work turning into fruition. But for the more indie game projects than indie animation projects, I wonder why. I feel like making a game would be harder than making an animation, but maybe not. Since games always use like assets and animation, you kind of have to like make new things to continue the animation. I feel like if there was like an indie animation platform like Steam, where people could host their animations, and then you could like subscribe to certain animations and give money. So like, oh, here's episode 1, and in order for episode 2 to be finished, it needs this amount of money. So would you like to pledge, I don't know, a certain amount of money into the animation so we can make the next episode? And in that way, they wouldn't have to worry about getting just one sum of money to fund the entire project. If there was a problem and they needed more money than they actually thought they would need, they could just change it. So, oh, instead of this amount of money, we need this amount of money, so people can know a lot quicker, and then they wouldn't have to like make a second Kickstarter. Always feel like Kickstarters, it's like they're too narrow. It's like, yeah, we need this money, and the money will go here, 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 and here. But I feel like if you're making such a big project, there's gonna be unforeseeable things that might happen, and so the given money might not stretch enough to cover all of that. So I feel like that's an issue that hasn't really been solved yet. Why is this so bad? I might have to do this again. Oh well. I'll work on something else. Okay. I'll work on something a bit more simpler to do. And it's a side profile, so I don't have to worry about symmetry. So yeah, it's like my idea. Yeah, like I feel like it could be really useful if animators could be more upfront with how much money they need, rather than making a Kickstarter and hoping that the money will stretch out to the end of the project, Or as you have situations like being Puppy Cat, where something happens and they're like, oh dang, how are we gonna make up the money to cover all the budget? And then you have to like put it on a streaming service. But I feel like YouTube is just the worst place to put animations because YouTube doesn't care about animators on YouTube unless you're producing content all the time, which you can't do as an animator. You can't have 3 new videos a week. Hey guys, here's my animation. Hey guys, here's my animation. Like, it's impossible to do that. So you'll have scenarios where even if your animation would get like 1 million views on YouTube, you'll do worse than someone who makes 3 videos and gets 50,000 on them. So what's the point? Because you're not making back the money that you need to, and the money as in time and stuff. Like, obviously Fanime is different because Fanime is more community aspect, so the reason why we put Fanime on this platform is because it has a community aspect. But for people who are trying to do it as an industry thing, it's like it's not that important to have a community aspect because you're trying to make a budget, you're trying to get your story out there, and you need money. So trying trying to get the hairstyle. Like, what sort of hairstyle was I trying to give this girl? It's like a short haircut with some bangs in the front, but I don't really know what I was trying to do. It's a scene in the opening where you, not the opening, but in the episode, minisode, whatever, where you see Haruto in the background. He's supposed to be like here, and he's partially obscured by this person laughing to her friend, and it's supposed to kind of like show that like Haruto is not really that important. It kind of gets overshadowed by the rest of the people in his class. Um, yeah, it's so bad. Like, hey guys, like you want to make content, but we need it all content all the time. So people like beauty gurus who literally only have to worry about video editing and vloggers and stuff, they don't have to worry about all that because they'll keep getting sponsorships. Also, like they like other game YouTubers, vloggers, beauty bloggers or whatever, they can get sponsorships. Like animators can't get sponsorships because they don't make enough content to warrant sponsorships, and they don't make enough content to warrant better advertisements on their videos. So they don't get anything. They don't get a piece out of that YouTube pie. It's like, well, we would give you something in return, but you have to make more content first. And that's why like the more, was it like storytime animations and animation memes are getting more popular because you can make more of them more quickly. So it's basically YouTube algorithm changes how animators on YouTube work and what sort of content they need to produce because they can't produce certain things anymore. No one wants to produce their own web series anymore. Like web animation actually used to be a valid form of media, but it's not anymore, thanks to YouTube and stuff. Like I can only see like Happiness and Cyanide and Happy Tree Friends are the only web animations that I know that are still going after all these years. And they already have a big following. So if someone tried to do that and they were new, it would be next to impossible to get anywhere. I just feel like my animation is so bad. Like the expressions and stuff. It's not as good as I want it to be. But yeah, YouTube's algorithm needs to change in order for animation on YouTube to change. Because there's no way it can at this current moment in time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7. I mean, the good thing about fanime, not anime. The good thing about fanime is that it's generally no budget, so you don't have to worry about budgeting, and there's a community aspect that encourages people to make content, in theory. So, fanime is in a better position than a lot of other forms of animation that require money and stuff. So I don't really understand why people don't really get into fanime more often, because fanime um eliminates a lot of the issues that animation have, like creative limitation, um sort of falling out of love with animating. It's like you don't really have those issues with fanime, so I guess people just don't know about it, but people know what Nyanika Sugar Girls is and stuff, so I know, like, the community aspect in fanime has always been a good thing. I mean, it's a thing that like draws a lot of people into wanting to do in the first place. Like, I want to make something that will get the community's attention, and then people will think it's good and stuff. And then that's what encourages people to want to make content. I know it encouraged me to make content, because it's like, oh, people are looking forward to the next episode of Space Ranger Rinel. Well, I better hurry up because I don't want to let people down. I still continue to let people down, so I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Animation is hard. Space Ranger was only supposed to have like 7 episodes in the first place. I was like, oh, after 7 or 8, I'm done, because I didn't want to get done as soon as possible, but I didn't want to make like 20 episodes. Like, I wanted to get the story wrapped up nicely. But then I realized that at the time that I decided I wanted 6, 7 to 8 episodes, the story was a lot more simpler. So now I can't really say that it's gonna have 7 or 8 episodes. I mean, these 5 minisodes that I currently have planned out, and like, which means I have like voice acting lines and the script and everything done, only covers like a fifth of the overall story. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I need to do to get the story wrapped up. I don't want to make a comic because I'm not a comic artist. Like, I'm not a comic artist. I could write it, but I know that people aren't interested in reading. So, reading, like, and Rinel walks down the stairs, like, I don't want to do that. Yeah, like, visual novels could work, but I feel like with Space Ranger Winner because it's Magical Girl. I want some action, and I also want to improve on my animation. So I want to be able to improve that way because when I was applying to my course, my animation course, I actually showed Space Ranger Winner animation. I was like, here's some of the animation that I've been doing over the past 2 years. Like I literally showed them fanime work. I obviously didn't say that it was fanime. I'm not trying to expose myself in real life. I literally haven't told anyone that I do fanime because I know that I'll get laughed at. Oh, fanime, you mean like that thing that like Nyaneka Sugar Girls, and then I'll have to like, and then I'll never go to school again. Bullied out of school, made fun of for making fanime. But I feel like fanime gets a really bad rep for like no reason. Like a lot of the stuff that people like make fun of, literally were made like years ago by 10-year-olds. Like, what are you doing with your life? How can you say that's an accurate representation of a whole community? Hi, Waku. Hi. How's it going? I'm just here. Honestly, it's so late. I can't like put any nuance into my animation. Like I'm trying to be like, I need to have a head bouncing and a hair moving, but I can't think it out enough to get it put down on paper, so it doesn't really show. Oh yes, before I continue, I was doing some rough drawings of some of the characters in Space Ranger Rinel. So we have Theo on the top, Neff on the left, and Lavi on the right. I was just drawing because I'm trying to see what these characters will look like, and I can't remember their magical costumes enough for me to accurately represent them. So I've been drawing them. Basically trying to get into the groove of producing content and falling in love with making fanime again, which has taken a really long time because I thought I would get over it quite quickly. I thought 2017 was going to be the year, but it didn't in the end. Because technically, like, I've gone through 2 years. Because by the end of August, I had finished my first year, and now I started my second year. So it's like, I know, like, oh my gosh. I thought that by showing like my anime work, I was definitely going to fail because I did that for one of my interviews to another place and I didn't get in. I was like, it must have been the fanime. The fanime must have stopped me from getting in. But I didn't actually want to go there in the first place. And the guy interviewing me didn't care about my work at all, so it was probably for the best. Um, yeah, it's just like I showed my fanime and then they kind of liked it. Um, the guy that I interviewed, who interviewed me, is actually my 2D animation teacher, and he always makes comments on how he likes my art style. So I'm like, that's good, because if he doesn't like my art style and he just thinks I'm a anime kid, it's gonna be an issue. Because I know a lot of animation students who drop out because they do too much animation work, do too much anime work. I mean. So like I didn't want that to be me. So I tried to hide it, to be honest. Like I don't really do a lot of anime work in school because I don't want to be told off. Like I preempt it, so I'm like, I can't draw anime because I don't want to get told off for drawing anime, so I won't do it. So then I don't do it. And then, but I've never tried it, so I don't know whether or not they would like it. But I just feel like they won't. Like it's just too much. Like I think they'll say something like, "Oh, the design is too complicated," so or something like that. It needs to be more simple. But yeah, wasn't I was just thinking, yeah, like I feel like if you if you're into like anime, like you can say that you like anime. Like talking about anime is fine. Being drawing anime or being into other hobbies and stuff, like you tend to keep under wraps. Like no, you can watch anime like casually, but you can't do it too much or people think you're weird. I learned that the hard way, so I try not to anymore. Because some people just associate you with just like an anime. I don't want that. Because it makes it really hard for people. Some people take you seriously. And I know some people are more prejudiced than other people, so they won't see that it's okay for people to have certain interests. They'll just see that, oh, you like this, so you're weird, so, or you do this, so you're weird. But yeah, I haven't met anybody on my course who is into fanime. Like I just want to find someone on my course who makes fanime. That would be like the best surprise. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you make fanime? It's possible. Yeah, like I like it's kind of difficult because you don't want to be the person who's like, oh, look at my work. Like I don't think I've shown my super anime work to people. Even on my course, because I know how people feel about overly cute anime art. It's like, oh, it's like weird or too much. So I tend not to show that. But if it's more like toned down or something related to my other projects, well, I don't really show people my work at all. Like I don't like to, because I feel like they might say something weird about it, and I'll get too overly self-conscious, and I want to kind of enjoy making cute art and making Space Ranger Rinel, and I don't really want someone to tell me like, oh, maybe you should like not do that. So I just want to. So I don't think, yeah, no one on my course knows about my YouTube channel. No one on my course knows about my Twitter. So I keep it on my Tumblr. I keep it all under wraps. Honestly, I don't want people to know. It's not like that I'm scared that like, oh, what would they do when they if they find out? Like if they happen to stumble on it and then they tell me, I'll be like, yeah, that's me. But I'm not gonna go out of my way to say, come on, hey guys, check out my YouTube channel. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I make animation. Wait, 2 years ago. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just like, how do people find this channel? Cause I don't advertise. I don't really do anything. I just kind of make content. sometimes and post it. Like, this channel wasn't even that serious. Like, I remember when I first made it, I was just like, I might as well make a channel because if I'm gonna post stuff, I need somewhere to post it, and that's why I made this channel. But that's the only reason. Oh, I'll just post stuff if I make it. And then I'll call myself Melty because it sounds cute. And that's how Melty-chan01, because I tried to call myself Melty-chan. No, it was taken, so I just said Melty-chan01. And that's the reason why this channel is called Melty-chan01. I feel like everyone does that work though. I feel like everyone's like, hey guys, like this is my professional thing, and it has like your name and everything. And then you have your like not as professional place where you post. Like everyone has their here's my full name and here's my portfolio for anyone who's interested. Like send me an email. This is my professional email for more details. Like everyone has that. It's not really like an identity. It's just kind of like your work setting. Like people behave differently at work than they do at home. So it's not really. It's just how you have to get around in the industry. I can't get the mouth right. Let me see what I did last time. Here we go. I'm trying to see what expression I gave her. I feel like my work changes too much. Like the glow up is real. I feel like my work glows up too much, so I can't do anything. Yeah, you can add me on Discord. I have Discord as well. The only difference is that my Discord name isn't Melty, for some reason. I might change it though, because it'll be easy for people to recognize me more. I feel like, wait, do I have Discord up? Let me close it. Yeah, so my Discord is, I'll post it in the chat. That's my Discord name and stuff for reference. If it's like an icon of like a anime figure, then that's the right one. That's the right username. Okay. Oh, I added you. Yay, friends on Discord. I need to use Discord more because it's more reliable than Skype. Skype always like messed on me. The only reason why I still have Skype is that I have like a lot of people added over the years from Fanime. Like I have so many people added over Skype. Like I don't even know how I got that much people. I think it's just because like I used to be in the Fanime rehab chat, and then a lot of people were in that chat at one point, and then we're just kind of like, let's all be friends, and then we just added each other, and that's why I have so much friends on Skype. So like every single time it's someone's birthday, I get like notification, like it's so and so's birthday, and I'm like, who? Because people change their usernames and stuff. I'm like, who's this? It's so mean, but I just, I have really bad memory, so I can't remember everybody by name alone. Yeah, you can add me. It's fine. It's chill. Like, anyone can add me. Like, I don't mind. I'm not the type of person to be like, no, you can't add me. I mean, let's be friends. Everybody. Like, you've been following me on this channel for like 2 years. That's impressive. Like, so you were here when I was like still making, I was more active on like episode 2 and stuff. So you're an OG, because I only had like 300 subscribers, so then I don't even know how I got like 500 subscribers, because it's like someone subscribed to me and I haven't done anything. Like, what have I done to get your attention? I haven't done, I'm just a simpleton. Yeah, but I feel like I won't be too active in them, so maybe I shouldn't join. Like, I don't want to just take up space. Like, look at this difference. Like, what the heck? What have I done? I literally did that, like, I'm not even kidding, like 5 months ago. Concerns. I feel like the reason why, like, I don't have a good eye, like, since I don't have good eyesight, I shouldn't draw, but here I am. Still cute though. This is just like the basic animatics. I'm just trying to get the key movements. Like, I'm not trying to actually do proper animation, so if it's not actually moving, because I'm still trying to put this audio to the animation. I want to make an animatic, and then I want to get feedback, and then I want to actually start on the animation. I'm trying to be more active, so I want to know people's thoughts on what I make so I can improve it, because there's no point in me just making things and not trying to learn from what I make. Like, there's always room for improvement in my eyes. She should be. Anyways, I was going to talk more about Space Ranger Rinel, but I always talk about that because I don't have anything else to talk about. So then I'll just talk about some of the other animations I've put here other than Space Ranger Rinel and kind of like why I did them. So like one of the ones that I put that kind of like doesn't make any sense was Pesh. That was supposed to be for the weekly Fanime challenge that I dropped out of because obviously it takes time. So I got like the first episode done on time, and the second episode happened a lot later. It's supposed to have 6 episodes in total, and the story's really simple and straightforward. So it's about Nero and Pesh. I feel like Nero is like Haruto 2.0, but he's kind of more outspoken. I feel like I always tend to make the girls more active and guys more cooler. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to explain it. So I try to like I'll do it without even thinking. So when I devise these characters, I'm like, wait a second, he's like really curtained, like cold, like Haruto. Like all my characters just end up being, all the male characters I make always end up just being Haruto, because that's the sort of characters that I like. Obviously, I like the sort of um, character who can't properly like express how they feel, so they always keep everything to themselves, and that's like one of my favorite things to do. Now I'm going to draw Rinel because I want to draw her. And then a lot of my girl characters are like either sweet or bubbly. I feel like Rinel's the most bubbly one out of all the characters that I've created, because she's just too much. The whole story is just about Haruto trying to keep Rinel's identity under wraps, because she will just do things to get her identity exposed. Like, you don't do that. Like, don't jump on the roof. Like, don't draw attention to yourself. So, like, she needs to learn from Haruto and not be too in your face. But she just doesn't want to learn. She's an alien, and she's supposed to learn more about Earth, and she doesn't want to learn because. Oh yeah, and there's supposed to be like a whole thing with Rinel, and that she likes anime and stuff, because the whole idea is that I feel like another animes already did this, but she doesn't understand Earth culture, so instead of actually taking in history and stuff, she just took in Japan's pop culture, so it turned her into a bit of like an anime fan and stuff, and then she actually goes to Japan and actually learns. But the fact that it's set in Japan really has no bearing on the actual story. Like, it doesn't matter. I feel like it's, you see it in a bit in episode 1 where Rinel talks about like having her first bowl of ramen, and that's supposed to like allude to the fact that she's kind of like into that sort of thing, but into like Japan's popular culture. But because the story sort of changed a bit, like that fell into the back burner and became less important. Basically, a lot of plot elements in Space Ranger Winner became less relevant over the years. Like Haruto's sister is now less relevant. One of the other characters, Mickey, is less relevant. It just, I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of happened because of the way that the story is. It's inevitable. Like, anyone who's watching will probably have faced a similar situation where you'll be working on something for a long time, and then some of the aspects of the things that you've done will change, and you won't even realize that it changed until much later. And then you actually, hang on a second, like, this wasn't the way that I did it. Before, like, a lot of the personalities haven't changed. Like, the personalities are the same, but a lot of the things around them are different, like new characters and stuff. This scene is where, after Rinel was introduced to the class, she gets pointed to the scene next to Haruto. She's kind of like looking at Haruto, and saying like, oh, like, I don't mind that seat. I'm gonna go over there and sit next to him. And she's trying, and obviously she's been doing the most, so she's like putting her. Also, oh, the connection went out a bit. I'm sorry. Yeah, like, just over a period of time, your story is inevitably going to change, and certain characters that you may have made a bit more important will probably become less important, or some of the characters that you thought were less important will become more important. It's just kind of like how your story grows and stuff. I feel like it's interesting. Like Space Ranger Rinel has changed a lot over from what I first devised it to be. Like initially it was just supposed to be like a monster of the week story where Haruto would be in danger and then Rinel will go and save him. But obviously it's not about that anymore. It's about Rinel trying to get used to Earth and Haruto kind of being there for her and their relationship and all the other aliens they meet along the way. So it's kind of more slice of life. It's Magical Girl more than action, comedy, Magical Girl. And then there's still like some aspects of comedy, but it's kind of less now. You can see a lot on episode 2, because episode 2 was just supposed to like be, I don't know, filler. It was supposed to just show like what usually happens in the story. Like all the scenarios of Rinel talking to her friends and stuff, those are things that just usually happen. Like all the fighting and transformations and stuff doesn't happen every day. Like talking to her friends though happens every day. So like when she's not at school, it's more apparent. And that's what episode 3 was supposed to be about. Thank you. That's fine, Addy. You eat your food. Get that food. So yeah, I was just talking about Space Ranger Window and how the story's changed over the past few years. That's so weird to say past few years. Um, and how like it's like a lot more slice of life than I initially expected it to be. Like even though it's Magical Girl, a lot of the fights actually don't happen very often, so I don't actually need to animate a lot of fights, which is good for me because I can't do action at all. Um, but like a lot of the everyday interactions are more important because she's just trying to get used to being on Earth and stuff, and she's always wanted to go to Earth. So now that she's finally here, like she actually has the opportunity to do stuff that she wants, which is why like I made the Christmas special and everything and all those specials, like because I wanted to like hammer down the fact that the story is not about fighting and saving the world per se. It's about the relationships Winnow has with lots of people in her life and her new life on Earth and stuff. That's the real importance of the story. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. That's the real crux of the whole story. It shouldn't really be Space Ranger at all. It should be like schoolgirl Winnow, because all you see her do is go to school and talk to her friends. She's got a lot of friends. And it's also implied that she has more friends than Haruto, so she has more friends. She just ends up making a lot of friends. And that's basically what episode 3 is about. It's about Haruto getting annoyed that Rinel sometimes goes and fights and he wants her to stay at school and just be normal more often. That's what was episode 3 was supposed to be about. It was supposed to be more dramatic for that reason. But I didn't like the writing and stuff, so I changed it. But hopefully like I want to get things done more quickly, so after these 5 minisodes we can get back to that point and then go through that potential drama of Haruto getting annoyed at Rinel for being a magical girl. Well, he wasn't annoyed about her being a magical girl. He's annoyed that, oh, sorry, let me add you then. He's annoyed that he didn't tell him that he was gonna go to and fight, and then she just kind of like left him hanging, and he's like, come on, we're like friends, you need to tell me these things. not a spoiler alert because some things are going to change. So that was my initial idea of what I wanted it to be. So like in a preview, that you can find on YouTube, when she says see you tomorrow, she doesn't actually turn up to school, and then the whole aspect of him talking to Zuzu is like, where is she? And it's like, you don't need to know because you're a human, so this isn't about you. But I still have like, even though I scrapped the episode 3, I still have like the lines from that scene. So I actually might go back and animate that scene because and post it because I want to. Like if I don't do like a full animation, I might just do an animatic of that just one scene because even though I don't like the writing, I still feel like it's quite effective. So if I don't get anything out, I'll definitely try and get that out. That one scene from episode 3 that I really like, the old version. And I also have lines from the summer special. There was also supposed to be a summer special coming out. There's a lot of things that I didn't get to finish and that I have the audio of. So it's like I should put it to use, but I don't have the time. But I definitely want to animate that scene from episode 3. Because it really shows like their relationship so far. And I feel like people might enjoy it. I don't know. Would people enjoy it? I can't tell. I think this is okay. So like drawing Rinel isn't that hard, but drawing Haruto is harder. Like if there was like a relative scale of difficult things to draw. Oh wait. The stream was off for a second. Oh my gosh. Sorry about that. So there was like a list of characters that are difficult to draw. Like Winner would be super easy and Haruto would be like harder because it's hard to capture his expressions a lot more. Because Winner's more expressive, so it's really easy to animate her, and I don't have to worry about what she looks like. So here she's looking at him, she's smiling, um, and then she turns to the teacher on her right. But yeah, I definitely want to put like an animation out. Yeah, I know it's so bad. It's because I'm don't have the best internet connection while I'm at school. Um, but I'm happy that like people are at least tolerating it. Like I'm really sorry. Like hopefully I can do more streams later, and this wouldn't be as much as a problem. Um, but as long as I'm here, I can't really do anything because I kind of live in a in the country. Like I live by the sea now. Like I'm only like 10 minutes away from the sea, so I'm very close to the sea. That being said, I don't go very often. Like you'll think because I live close to the sea, I would go, but I don't. Hello. Uh, is it buffering? Oh my gosh. Wait. Um, like a week. I have a week left, and then I'm back. Cause you know a week is gonna be close to Christmas, so I'm leaving. Um, I'm leaving like next week. then I know the connection in the British countryside is really bad. There's literally like nothing here. The McDonald's is 30 minutes away. And everybody, and all the locals hate the students here. Because it's like, there's not enough like houses for the students. So they're like, oh, you'll go away. Stop coming to this town. Because it's like a small town. And we're like, but we need to study. And they're like, go away still. So that's why I live on the school campus, so I don't have to worry about encountering some of the townspeople here that don't like students. But all the townspeople that I like have spoken to are friendly with me, so that's good enough. It's just that I just wish like the British countryside had better internet connection. That's all. That's all. It's not very good. That's why I need to go back to London. Right? I live in Cornwall. I'm in southwest. What did I even got? Southwest England. There we go. Ah, beautiful Cornwall. It's like the beaches, but it's like cold and rainy half the time, so you can't even enjoy them. And they're like but the atmosphere, not a lot of people. It's lonely because there's not a lot of people. Basically, I just want to go back to London because I'm tired of the countryside. I'm only here for my studies, and then when I'm gone, I'm never coming back. Thank you. Oh yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't hate the countryside. I just don't like it as much as I like London that I've lived my whole life. Um, yes, oh my gosh, Waku. I was thinking of sending you a message like, oh, there's this Hello Kitty cafe, like we should go. Cause I was like, we should like, oh, let's go to the. Cause I wanted to like meet up again, but I was like, should I send a message? Like she must be busy, so maybe not. But yeah, we should totally hang out before Christmas. Like I don't have anything to do once I go back home, so. Ah, it keeps cutting out. I'm so annoyed. Like honestly, I'm tired of the connection not being good. But yeah, honestly, I want to go back to London. The only thing is that from where I live in Cornwall to London, it's like an 8-hour bus ride. So like every single time, like after Christmas, when I have to go back to uni, it's a pain because it's like I don't want to go back. I want to stay in London. I should have went to a London university if I was gonna be this homesick. Because every single time I'm just like, man, I could literally walk to McDonald's and now I have to take a bus. And like there's no deliveries. Like the only things you can deliver here is Domino's. Like that's all they have. Domino's pizza. And everything closes at like 4 p.m. So like how am I supposed to get her? Moving from here to here. I started like looking at indie Japanese animation because I was bored and I wanted to do some language practice. And some of it's good, some of it's alright, some of it's like okay. I feel like there's so much talent, but I don't feel like the Japanese animation industry like gets these talented people quickly enough. Like they should not be on the internet posting. They should be making coin, making money, but they're not. So it's confusing. That just goes with a lot of indie animators. Like, when are we gonna? Yeah, the only thing is that the bus is a lot cheaper, and because I live in the countryside, I would have to change trains. So I would have to get the local train and then travel up to Plymouth and then take a proper to London, and that's too much work, honestly. Like most of the people here just take the bus because it takes longer, but you can just stay in the bus and sleep until you get to London. And that's like honestly less hassle for me. And I can take the bus straight from the uni campus, but if I take the train, I have to take the bus to the train station or walk. So, and the train station's like 15 minutes away by bus and longer by walking. And then obviously I have to take all my luggage with me and walk to the train station. So it's just like too much work, honestly. That's why I take the bus. The countryside just doesn't have a lot of transport to warrant me going and taking a train and trying to take the train all the way to London. Like if I lived in Exeter or somewhere, it'll be easier, but I don't, so it's harder. And I just feel like, oh, I never want to do it, like at all. I had like an exam to do, so I had to travel to London, and then I had to travel back to Cornwall, and I honestly didn't want to because I just didn't want to take the train and then take the bus. Like it's too much. And every single time I'm here, I always dread having to take the bus because it's just too much. Exactly, like because I need to get home as soon as possible, and I also want to spend the least amount of money. And student finance doesn't cover expensive train tickets back home. And I don't want to get my parents to just pay for it either. Like, I'd rather just deal with a longer journey if it's gonna cost less. I get to sleep bus anyways. The only thing is that there's a lot of weird people on the bus, so that's the only downside. Too many weird people on the bus. And the train is more comfortable, obviously. But I get travel sick in both of them, so honestly, like I'd rather not travel altogether, because I get travel sick really easily. And that's why I wanted to not study in the UK, because I wanted to study in America at first. I was like, I'm gonna go to CalArts. No, I'm not good enough for CalArts at all. CalArts wants like geniuses. I'm not even in the 50% percentile. I am just a fanimator. Like, I can just see, like, going to an interview and showing fanime in CalArts. Like, I'll get laughed at. But like, Is this the animation you're showing us today? Look colors. Ew. Heck, I'm not good enough. But I shouldn't complain because the university that I go to is pretty good and I get my education. So, and I graduate in like a year's time. And as soon as I graduate, I'm out of here. I'm gone. I'm ghost. Like school is nice. That's fine. Um, School is nice, but being out of school is better. So I wanna be out of school. Like I know people like, but uni slash college is like one of the best years of your life. Like so much fun. I'm like, where's the fun? Like I'm being lied to on purpose. Where's the fun in being stressed over like, assignments and stuff and like deadlines? Like there's no fun in that. Streaming actually makes me get things done, but I don't want to stream all the time, so I should get used to getting stuff done without streaming. There's so much to do. I don't know how to get her to turn. I needed to put her hand down, and then I need her to turn and face the teacher, and I don't know how to get that done and make it look good. For like when she's turning, her hand should be already down by the time she's turning around. Like here, she should be turning this way, this way. So yeah, that's what's been going on in my life. Nothing at all. Just a lot of school, I guess. I like saying school more than uni because it's like less threatening. I study at school. I go to university. It's like scary. And that was like, I think it's been like an hour since I started streaming. I normally stream for like an hour and a bit and then I stop because I don't have a lot of energy. I usually take a lot of energy just to animate one thing. I'm surprised that people actually came to this stream because I'm like, the connection isn't good and like there's lots of issues. And I'm not even playing any music because I feel like the music is distracting me from talking, so I stopped putting any music on. So it's just silence. Well, I guess it lets people put their own music, so I feel like when you're doing streams and like there's big music everywhere, like it can be quite distracting for some people. So maybe this is better. Oh yeah, and then there's this I saw this Pokemon trailer for a Pokemon movie because they always do Pokemon movies. I can't remember the last time I watched a Pokemon movie. I think it was a couple of years ago when I actually still cared about the anime series and stuff. But Ash or Satoshi, whatever his name is, in the trailer looks really different. And I feel like they keep changing his design because if they're not gonna make a new character, they might as well change what he looks like, to make it a bit fresh. So like, because they had that other movie like I Choose You, which is just kind of like an updated one of his old design. Then they have the Sun and Moon series, and he looks a lot different and a lot more like chibi-ish. And then this one is like a mix between the two designs. It's nice. I just feel like they're doing the absolute most, but it's Pokemon, animated Pokemon. Like, I know people always say this, but I would love another protagonist other than Ash. Like, I feel like it's time. Like, they need to retire that character. Yeah, he looks good. Like, if they're not going to retire Ash, they need to have, like, more than one character. Like, I know they have, like, Lily and all the other people from the series, but I want, like, an original anime character to have like another a major role other than Ash. Like I don't want like a side character. I want like a mainish character who is not like this girl of the show. I don't know. I just want another character, honestly. Like they had Pokemon Generations, but then they faked everyone out because it's just like a mini series. I want like Pokemon. I want like because they did that with like I think one of the other series. And they had some other character. Like I want that character back. Like I just want someone other than Ash. That'd be nice. Exactly. Like it doesn't make any sense because like they know that people want something different, but they don't want to. Like how many times do we have to see Ash go through the same journey of getting his Pokemon team, defeating the Elite Four, making friends along the way? Like we've seen his journey so many times, over and over again. Like I thought that once they did the original Pokemon animation series and they had the Mewtwo movie and everything, I thought they were gonna make a new character. Like oh his story's over. Like he did it, right? And then they just bring him back, and it's like, what's the point? You show us like, how can you get invested in his story if we keep seeing it over and over again with different characters and different Pokemon? It always has Pikachu as well, so like, what's the point? Maybe cause it's weird because as a child, I'm seeing the same character over and over again. Like, this is the same character that I watched as a kid on TV, and then he's still here. Like, why are you still here? Just go away. Like, you should be done by now. Like, Digimon doesn't do this. When Digimon makes a series and their characters' stories end, they end. They bring new characters in. Why can't Pokemon do the same? I mean, it doesn't make sense. When they like when Digimon had the whole like main cast and stuff for the first series, and they finished their stories and everything, they're gone. Like they did like a short anime series when they're older, but apart from that, they're gone. Like they're not coming back. They don't have the same characters. They don't have Tai with Agumon, and they keep making the same series of him going with Agumon with the same characters. Like it wouldn't make any sense. But I feel like Pokemon have dug themselves into this hole. Like it's not Pokemon without Ash, so they can't do it without Ash. Like it's Ash or nobody. I keep talking about Pokemon, but I feel like there are so many good characters that can't get the development they want because they keep getting overshadowed by Ash. Like in, like for example, in the Hoenn region one with May and stuff. Like May's character was constantly overshadowed by Ash because every single time she wanted to do the Pokemon contest, it's like who cares? Because Ash is trying to defeat the gym leader and get good, but May is like doing contests and stuff. and it's like, who cares? Because half the time, Ash wouldn't even show up to those contests. Like, May would battle it all by herself, and Ash would be training with Pikachu. So why the animators having to animate this if we're not gonna give it the time and dedication it needs? Like, I don't like how the girl characters are always subjugated to second role under Ash. Like, I know it's because Ash is the protagonist, but it always ends up feeling like the girls can't get as much attention because of Ash, and everyone else suffers under Ash. It's his fault. He needs to go. Like, I would love to have like for example, every single time they make like a new place, like the current region, like I would love an anime out of like their spin-offs, like Pokemon Ranger or something. Like I'd like a spin-off where there's like a whole set of characters, and not all of them are Pokemon trainers. So like there's a breeder, or like a or someone who plants berries, and it's just like, let's follow these individual people's lives as they try to do their thing in the world of Pokemon. Like someone wants to be like a cyclist or something. I'm going to be a Pokemon cyclist, and I'm gonna try and become a gym leader. Like I would like to see that. It would be really interesting to try and follow individual characters trying to get their individual goals, and not all of them being Pokemon trainers and stuff. Like not everyone has to try and defeat gym leaders. I feel like it'll be super interesting. Anyways, that's enough of Pokemon for now. Too much Pokemon. But now it's like the end of the year, and it's like close to 2018. It's kind of weird because it's been 2017 for such a short amount of time. Like I feel like 2017 went really quickly. And I don't know, like, is it just me, or like in the early 2000s, I felt like the years went a lot slower. Like, I can vividly remember 2008 being taken really long, like just being long. And now, like, it's 2018 and it's coming really quickly. Like, it was just November, like, 2 days ago. I promise it was November 2 days ago, and now it's December. Because I was like, I need to do something. And then by the time I wanted to do it during November, it was December. I'm like, what happened? Because I just swear that I was just going to do this in November. It's so weird. I feel like time is going so fast, and it doesn't have any reason. Like, I bet 2018 is going to do the same thing. Like, it will. I know, maybe. I feel like because I'm in the school system, time just goes quickly because it's like every single month you have to do something. There's things for you to do, and as a kid, all you're really doing is going to school and coming home and watching cartoons. So it's like you have less to do, so time feels slower. But when you're an adult, or when you're older, you have a lot of things on your mind. There's always like that pressure of getting everything done and getting everything done on time. So time goes really quickly in comparison, I think. Because apparently it's been scientifically proven that if you're bored, like time feels slower, and if you're busy, time feels faster, even though the same amount of time is being spent. So I think that's it. That's the only reason why. Like, it has nothing to do with actual time going quickly or slowly. It's to do with your own individual perception of time and how you perceive it and what you make out of it, and that affects the way that we see things. But even though 2017 went really quickly, even though that's the case and it's probably in my head, I still feel like it went really quickly. Like, I promise, like, it was the summer just like 2 weeks ago. Because I remember it being August and not doing anything. And then it's Christmas now. It's basically Christmas because a week, in 2 weeks' time, it's going to be Christmas. So it's too much. I just want to like chill and not have to worry about things all the time. Like I want to just run home and watch Pokemon like I usually did as a kid. Like all I did as a kid was just play Pokemon, a trading card game, watch Fanime. Like I used to watch Fanime as a kid for fun. Like that's what got me into Fanime because I would go home and then I would watch Fanime. I think like I watched like Illusion Dreams, Eternal Goddess, Tokyo Crystal Mew. What else did I watch? Just basically like all of the Fanimes that were like there at the time. So not a lot of the more recent ones because they didn't exist back then. One of the ones that I used to watch all the time was Shine and The Heart of a Witch. I don't think anybody remembers those ones at all, but I do, and I'll keep going back to them. But The Heart of a Witch was about a witch basically and being adopted into this non witches home, like these humans home, and she lives in a world where like witches are persecuted and stuff, like burned at the stake and stuff like that. So they're like trying to stop her from doing magic stuff, and she's like, "Leave me alone, mom and dad. I'm gonna do what I want." And then obviously bad things happen because she won't listen to her parents. Because her mum was a witch, and then she died because she got burnt at the stake. So then she tried to pretend she was a human, and there was only like 2 episodes ever made, and I was always like interested, like what's gonna happen in episode 3, and it never came, ever. I really wanted to see how she got out of that situation, and I feel like a little fan may leave people hanging because it's like, what happened? Like I want to know, and you never get to know because they'll never come back ever, and it's sad, but like I guess it's understandable because doing that all by yourself takes a lot of time. So if you don't have the time to do it, then I guess I can kind of see where you're coming from. And a lot of the people who did it were like really young. So like if you're young, like you don't really get care too much about getting it done. Like you don't have any stakes, you don't have any reason to, and you're a kid, so you can do what you want. So I'm gonna start working on this anime if I want to. And that's how Fanime kind of got associated with not being finished and stuff. Because basically, if you're a kid and you have stuff to do, like you can do what you want. You can go to school, talk to your friends. You can make a cartoon on YouTube if you want to. Like you have, the possibilities are endless. So if you want to stop, then you can stop. But I feel like now that people are a bit older, it's like, let's take it a little bit more seriously. Because, we have responsibilities. Like, I'm gonna be like 20 next year. 20. I'm not gonna be a teenager anymore. And that's sad. But I'm a proper adult now, so I have to behave like one. So the older I get, it's like, oh no, like, I need to start being like responsible. But I don't want to. So that's the situation I'm in right now. I just want to watch anime all day, and I can't, so I feel sad. But Christmas, yeah! Oh my gosh, how does it feel to be 20? Because I'm like worried, because I feel like nothing's gonna change. Because when I hit 19, I'm like, nothing's changed. Like, I still feel like I'm 18. Like, what the heck? Like, I thought this was gonna be more important. But like 20 is like, you're in your early 20s, and then by the time you're 20, like you're 30. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I feel like 20 is like I'm adult working age. Like I'm an adult. Like when you're 19, you don't really feel that old. I feel like you feel older when you're 20. Because as soon as you're 20, you're like 21, 22, 23. Jizzy, oh my god. See, I knew that it'll probably be the same. Because like when you're 20, it doesn't really feel different, probably, than when you're 19. I feel like everyone who's 18 to 21 is basically the same, and you only start really feeling it once you hit like 24. Then you're like, oh, I'm an adult now, so I don't have anything to worry about for the next 4 years. I feel like now, since we're in an age of like tech technology, like no one really cares about acting their age, because like to be honest, like now that I have the money and more responsibility and more freedom, I can do what I want. So I'm gonna make fanime when I'm 40. Like no one's gonna stop me. I'll still be making fanime. Like Space Ranger Rinel episode 30 just came out, and like I'll still be doing it when I'm 40. Cause I don't care. Like I wanna have fun. I want to be able to do the things that I want to do. I don't feel like age should be like an important factor when it comes to doing things that you enjoy. Like, I know some people feel differently, but I don't. I feel like you should be able to enjoy yourself, and do what you want to do, and have fun basically. Because I feel like when I was younger, I was like, even when I become older, I still want to have fun. Like, I don't want to feel like I can't have any fun anymore because I'm older. So, I decided at that age that I'll still be doing the things I like. But it's gotten me in quite a bit of trouble because people are like, what are you doing? You need to start thinking more seriously. But I don't want to. Why is this so weird? I feel like well, it's a draft, so it's okay. I can fix it later. I feel like when I'm tired or when it's late, I draw worse. Maybe I should do like a scientific experiment. Like, do you draw worse later in the day? And I'll do like a controlled assessment, as the people call it. 'Cause I just want to know, is it me? I feel like when you're in the industry and you do animation for a living, you tend to. How is that even possible? Like, what happened? What happened to that 8-year-old? What did they go through that made them behave like an adult? I feel like if you're a child and you're really precocious, there must be a reason for it. You can't be 10 and be acting 15 and just because and it's just your personality. Like there must be something more. So that 8-year-old must be like working already. Like she has a business or something. She's a business person. She's the breadwinner for her family. Like that's the only logical explanation I can offer right now. I should probably have like two movements here in one. So like she puts her hand down and then she turns, because that'd be easier to do. Oh yeah, and then now being an animator, I don't like animating honestly that much. Like I don't like animating for too long. Like some animators like make really really smooth animation and it looks nice, but then when I think about the amount of hours it took to do that, I'm like, no thank you. I want to get the animation out and I want to make it look nice, and that's all I care about. But other people do it, and like they make it look really nice. So I don't know what to do. I need to count. Which one is this? That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'm trying to number the scenes so I can figure out how many shots do I actually need to do to make the thing and make it all work out. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you need to act your age. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, what does it mean to act your age? Like, what does it mean to be an adult? Because honestly, like, I've seen plenty of adults like behave like babies in public, like get really upset over something really non-important, and they'll be like in business suits and stuff, or be in like really expensive clothing, and they're basically acting like children in public. And it's like, how is that acting your age? Like, how are you behaving like an adult if you're gonna like do that? So I feel like the whole idea of age is really silly if you think about it, because it's like that's just what that's like society's expectations, and no one is really living up to it because people still behave like a kid anyways when confronted with something. Like, people are like that's why nostalgia sells so much nowadays. Like, people like to be reminded of the time they were a kid, because they wanna act like, oh, I'm grown up now, so I can't really like, I'm not like that anymore. But honestly, I just feel like they just enjoy it, and they just wanna say that, oh, I'm just nostalgic, I'm just remembering my childhood, when they really never grew out of their childhood to begin with. So, because how can you still enjoy like those things and then say that, no, I'm an adult, I'm acting my age? Like, it doesn't make any sense. If you're thinking about acting your age as in what you and how you should behave. Yeah, honestly, age is really a number. Like, technically, your brain stops developing at the age of 21, or around that. Like, you stop growing. So I still have time to grow a bit, I guess. So I honestly don't feel like there's a right or wrong way to behave your age. Like, I don't feel like age should really matter in the things that you enjoy. Like, if I want to like anime at the age of 15, like, I'm gonna enjoy anime. Like, no one's gonna tell me otherwise. Like, why should I only do things that I like until a certain age and stop? It's like, how can I stop myself from liking those things? It's impossible. Let me see. I feel like I'm trying to think of what to do. Maybe I'll just stop this stream soon. I need to. I'll do one thing, final thing, and then like start working on one thing and stop the stream in a bit. Yeah, I feel like when it comes to maturity, I feel like this, like, you can dress like in like a clown suit and still be mature. Like, just because someone wears a business suit doesn't mean they're a mature person, and just because someone likes to wear like unicorn t-shirts doesn't mean they're immature. I feel like people get really like obsessed with appearances and how their appearance should like matter to their personality, and I feel like that doesn't make any sense, because why should your clothes really affect the way that you behave, unless you're like working? But if someone wants to wear like a kangaroo suit, but they're paying their bills and they have a house, like, what does it even matter? Like, how are they not like doing how they're not doing fine. Like, I don't feel like people should be judgmental about how other people want to dress. I feel like people should be allowed to do what they want and live the way they want to live. I feel like there's not enough time to be thinking about what everyone is doing. Like, oh, so and so, she wears pink. Like, I like to wear pink clothes. Like, I like to wear really cute clothing and stuff. And obviously, like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Like, not everyone likes it. But it's what I want to do. Like, I like wearing cute clothing. And I know that not everybody likes it. But still, like, I like it. So it's fine. I feel like, because at a certain point, someone will be like, shouldn't you not wear that? And then I'll be like, but I want to wear it, so why can't I wear it? Like, what does it matter? I feel like some people just really get too worried about how other people look like. Like, it shouldn't matter as long as they're fine and they're enjoying themselves. Like, it shouldn't really matter what their outer appearance looks like. And I feel like if you judge too much on someone's exterior, then you don't focus enough on their interior, like who they really are and what sort of person they are. And then you only really focus on what they look like, and I think that's not fair. Anyways, that's just me rambling about what I feel like in society, because I feel like the older I get, the more that I have to conform to what society expects of me without even knowing. Like, I don't really wear pink clothes as often as I used to, because it's like, oh, people think I'm a weirdo. And it's like, I used to do that all the time. I used to enjoy it so much, but I don't do it anymore. Or as often as I used to, because someone's going to find me too weird and no one's going to want to talk to me. It's sad, but that's why I like making cute things. Like, I can make my characters wear lots of cute clothes and it's fine. And so I just take my. Yeah, it's up to me to want to wear those clothes. I want to, but I can't do it all the time. Like, it rains a lot where I live, so I don't want it to ruin my clothes. So um, sometimes I don't, because I want to preserve them for a better day and stuff. Some when the weather's better. This is Rinel trying to swing on her chair because she's sitting on her new seat, and then the next shot is her upper body, and she's talking to Haruto, and she's introducing herself. So I'm trying to start this shortcut, which is not that important. It's kind of like honestly, like, from the past storyboards that I made, and the past rough animation that you can find a bit on this channel, like, I'm only really updating some of the shots to make it a bit better, because I go to school now, so now I have a better sense of what works and what doesn't work, so, and how you should make sure that your shots line up accordingly so it doesn't look weird, and the placement of your characters on screen. But I'm not perfect, because it's really hard. I'm not very good at storyboarding and planning out my animation, so I'm trying to get better. Honestly, like, making Space Ranger Winnow has been a learning experience, because I have gotten so many things wrong. Like, sound, audio editing is like a big one. But that's because my hearing and my sight are really bad, so I can't tell on my own. So I probably need someone else to check it for me, to make sure that I'm not messing up on that front. Yeah, it's like, what is wrong with society? I mean, it's too much. Like, honestly, like, it's too much. Like, society should just chill for a bit and understand that we only have so much time to do what we want, and it shouldn't. I'm talking to society like it's an actual being, but you know what I mean? Like, people who do those things, like who enforce society standards need to stop. Yeah, so like I'm really bad at hearing and I'm really bad at sight. Like I'll I'll like play something, I'll be like, oh, I think this is fine, and then someone be like, fam, that's too loud. I'm like, what? But I can hear it just fine. So I don't know why I decided to be an animator if my hearing and sight aren't very good, but I know people who cook but they don't like fish and they cook fish, so I know like does it does being blind in one eye like affect the way that you draw? Like do you tend to work on things a bit longer or try and get a second opinion? Because I know that I always try and get a second opinion because I always feel like what I see is not what I'm drawing. So I always try and show other people, like, it's like, oh, what do you think? So I know that I'm actually drawing something and putting something together. I honestly feel like I don't perceive my art the same way that other people perceive it. So I'm always trying to get a second opinion because I always second guess myself and how I work. Yeah, but perspective is super hard though. Like perspective is super difficult. Like I can't really do perspective that well. Like I know the basic like gist of it, but I can't do it very well. I'm still learning though. Like I didn't buy it, but I borrowed a book on perspective and it was so hard. I was like, what am I even reading? Like, it was really like scientific. Like, was supposed to be for artists. And I even bought one for artists, like a perspective book for artists. And it was supposed to make learning perspective a lot more easier. But then it wanted me to actually go outside and like do exercises. Like, I don't have time for that. I need to like just tell me what to do. Tell me how to draw the buildings good. That's what I want from the book. I don't want you to tell me to go outside and grab a pencil and like do all that. Like it's too much. I know it's like today we're going to learn how to do perspective. You need to understand that perspective is just a way for the human brain to comprehend three-dimensional planes on a 2D plane. It's like I don't need all that. Can you just tell me how to draw the buildings, please? Because I go to art school, so I need the information. It's so much. It's like, wow. And there's also, like, anatomy books as well. Like, today you go, like, I thought I was just going to learn, like, don't draw the head too big and don't draw this too big. But it's like, these are the ligaments that are connected to the legs. These are the different muscles. You need to learn the names of all these different muscles. Like, if you don't know the names of these muscles, then you won't be able to draw this properly. And it's like, in the hand there are blah 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 this amount of bones and you need to know the different bones. Like it's too much. It's so much information and it's like, am I learning or am I doing like a scientific journal? Like it's so strange. Like I need to write like an essay on animation technology and I'm looking at um like essays and stuff for reference to put in my essay. And it's like there's one about old like 2D animation, and instead of just being like, oh, this is how they did it, or this is how they put the animation together, they're talking about like coordinates and like this is it's too much and like and the whole essay only has like 3 pictures of the Flintstones and it's like I'm supposed to comprehend what's going on here and the essay is like 10 pages long. I still haven't properly read it because I don't understand what's going on. Art books are so extra. I hate all of them. Like art is supposed to be a very visual thing, but like all the books explaining it are really over complicated and difficult for no reason. It's Like instead of just trying to explain in a constructive manner that people can understand, you want to spend the whole book explaining things that aren't important. Like no one's gonna ask you the different names of the ligaments. Like all I know is like the gluteus maximus and like the bicep and stuff. Like I don't know like the actual proper names of any of these things. Why? Like it's probably the same information that they're putting in science books. Like it has to be the same information. It's so a lot. It's too much. And I feel like those are the only sort of anatomy books that exist. Like there's no anatomy books like come on guys, let's like draw the human body. It's like you're going to learn all these different terminologies today. I was like reading the book and I don't even know half the words. Like I didn't even know this word existed. Like now I know that it's a real word and it exists. But I didn't know half of the words that existed before I read anatomy books. So I should be grateful for anatomy books teaching me new words because I wasn't aware that all these words existed to describe the human body. Because I'm not a scientist. I could go to science school and be like, hey guys, you want to know how to draw the human body? Right? And then all the tutorials on Twitter and stuff are like simple, like, come on guys, let's draw legs and stuff. Like, this is what I'm looking for. Like, I'm not looking for a detailed explanation as to what these things are called. Um, why is this so hard to do? Anyways, I think I'm gonna stop the stream right now because I am so tired and I need to sleep because tomorrow is a new day and stuff, you know. Um, thank you for everyone for coming because I don't know what the turnout was going to be. I was a bit worried because I thought no one would come to the stream, and usually I don't really get a lot of people coming to my streams, but it was nice to talk about